Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann, your host here on Fitness, Food, and Finance. We're trying to help you lay a firm foundation now and into the future. So we've got the Carnivore Kickstarter coming up, Carnivore Challenge. It'll start January 18th. If you miss it, that's okay. You can actually still sign up and work one-on-one with the company that I'm partnering with. It's it's Rick's and Andrea's company. It's called Smart and Simple. It's right here. If you're watching this, you'll see these things. I'll try to talk it all out because this is a podcast initially. And thanks to Levi, we're actually on video as well. So some other things coming your way. We've got, if you're not here in Woodstock, if you're in Woodstock, come to CrossFit Garage. We're happy to help you. If you're not in Woodstock, we have Garage Fitness Online. So if you go to garagefitness.online, you will see our system. Basically, we're trying to build a community of people that have home gyms that just don't use them. So we've got Brendan Phillips doing the programming. He's an elite CrossFitter that is in his 40s and has said, hey, there's a better way to program to not be so intense as to go to the games. And it's basically following CrossFit with a little bit of tweak. So he's got awesome programming. You get a free account with Wodify. So right now, everything's free until probably all of 2025 as we get this thing going. We literally just launched it. So sign up there. You sign up for the alpha tester. That's a 2-month free membership, and you can sign up for that as many times as you want. Again, we're building it. Post your workouts, post videos. We're using Facebook as our group because Facebook is cheap and easy, and it'll hold 2.5 million users. So we're using that one right now. The other thing I have for you is 60 Easy. So if you're like, hey, I don't live in Woodstock, I don't want to go there. I don't have a home gym, but I want to do something. So I've got 60 Easy. It's to counter 75 hard. So it's 60 things you can do in the year of 2025, or really any year. And it's 12 things, so one a month, for the 5 pillars: how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. And you just basically do one of those each month. So you'll do 5 things each month. You can stack them. You can get rid of them. You can follow it just as the words say, do this for a week, or do this for a day, or do this for the month. Or put them all together so by the end of the year, you have 60 new habits. It's up to you. And a lot of them build on each other. So you'll see. It's pretty easy, and that's the intent, is to build on winning. So you have the psychology of winning on your side. The big thing is a Carnivore Challenge. We're going to go through a bunch of questions right now. So it's going to start on January 18th, which I am doing this right now on the 13th. So you have 5 days. I'll probably post this either Tuesday or Wednesday, so you'll just have a couple days to really get into it. I'll put the link in the doodly-doo, but right here, it's Smart and Simple's Carnivore Challenge. You just click sign up. Make sure you put on the top who referred you, and you join them. So it's $99 for their virtual session. So every Thursday or every Saturday, there is a Zoom call, and then there's homework and all the other stuff that goes with a normal type of engagement in this thing. Or you can sign up to do it one-on-one. So they do have that. You don't want to be in a group. You just want to learn. And we're going to go through some questions on carnivore, what is it, and misconceptions and how-tos and all that. The really easy how-to is just eat less carbs. Either eat 0 or eat under 100. So you have keto, ketovore, and carnivore, and those are just varying degrees of how many carbs you have. Then, of course, you have the lion diet. Actually, you know what? I'll put it on this part of the podcast, a little segue here, that the lion diet and Josh Detch's company, I think it's My Gut Health, have saved my kid. So he dropped from 170 down to 118 pounds. And doing the lion diet and working with Josh's group, in 4 months, it finally clicked. So nothing really happened for 4 months, but all the stuff you're doing, you're eating well, you're flushing things out. At around the 4th month, he started adding food. And when he came home from Christmas, so it'd been about 6 months on the plan, he started gaining weight. So he got up to about 140 pounds, and he's on the mend. So I mean, what more can you want? I'll go through all that another time, but you can, apparently, through this anecdotal evidence, use things out there, at least like my son. He has a story of reversing his Crohn's, healing his gut. It's our story. Will it work for you? I don't know. I tend to think so, but man, I am not a doctor, and I just can tell you what I saw with my own eyes and the dedication of a kid. Okay. Other thing for you guys here in the gym, we are, the CrossFit Games Open is coming. Open is a competition open to everybody. Basically, you sign up online. You don't have to. We will do their workouts, just 3 workouts over 3 weeks. So basically on the way we're going to do it is Thursday, they will announce the workout. Friday will become a class of prep, unless you just want to do the workout. And then Saturday will be the day we all get together and do the event. And we're going to create teams. We have 4 teams. And we're going to draft you and pick you and get you on teams. And it'll be like a Hogwarts competition. So you'll have this team versus that team. Not necessarily like team versus team, but like points team versus team. So you'll get various points for doing stuff. It's not about scoring the best because that would be very excluding. We do want to honor that. But this whole thing is for fun because we're here for fun and fitness, not for the glory of getting, a 1-minute Fran. So it's for fun. So you guys join us. It'll be awesome. It'll be fun. All right. Into the questions. I'm not great at reading out loud. I probably should have used my 11 Labs Andy voice to actually do this podcast. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go back and have it do it. It'd be funny to see the comparison. So I am going to pause, read, and then talk to you because, man, I'm bad at reading out loud. What is the carnivore diet and what foods can I eat? So basically, it's meat, eggs, seafood, and depending on your level of carnivore, cheese, and that dairy line of product, okay? If you want, the primary idea is twofold. One, just using the carnivore wording, you're reducing your carb intake and increasing your protein and fat intake. So your carb intake will either be below 100, somewhere in there. So most people, it's below 100 somewhere, or it'll be 0. So if you're me, the only thing that I eat that has a carb in it naturally is goat cheese. And so by the end of the day, I will have 1 carb. That's okay. So I'm not eating carbohydrates. I'm eating something that has a carb in it. So there is a little bit of a difference, but not much, right? So you want to avoid almost everything else. Now you can make that a little bit lighter, add in some vegetables or fruits. But one of the biggest precepts of all this is meat is not processed. I mean, it's processed some. You have to cut it off the bone, but it's very minimally processed. Now, if you're eating lab-grown meat, no. If you're eating that fake meat, the veggie meat, that's a no. It's real meat. So the other avenue is with the lion diet is the ruminant meat. So animals that chew the cud basically eat grass and then they have 4 stomachs to process it. Something about their stomachs and processing the food they eat, and it gets rid of the glyphosate, the Roundup and stuff, so it's better for you. So that's the avenue you want to go down. How long do you have to do it? Man, it's up to you. How fast will you lose weight? That's interesting. It depends on where you're starting. Okay. What are the health benefits of going carnivore? Well, right there. So you're going to lose weight because 1, your body will drop a lot of water that it was holding onto with its carbohydrates. And then 2, you're going to learn to burn fat as your primary source. Now, a weird thing is when you learn to burn fat, there could be some fat that has stored junk that you did back in high school. So you hear about some people when they do LSD and then later on in life they trip on LSD again. That's probably LSD in fat that gets released. So there could be some weird things. They call it carnivore flu or detoxing, right? For Evan, there was a reversing in Crohn's, which, I mean, what? That is awesome. It also, because of what you're not eating, your inflammatory markers go way down. And so you'll notice there's a lot less joint pain. Okay, next one. How does carnivore compare to keto and other low-carb diets? So I already kind of went through that one. It's the carnivore and keto and ketovore. It's just the amount of carbs you're eating. So I would label it like this. If you just want to lose weight, I think keto is fine. So under 100 carbs, find that number you need to be in ketosis, and you'll be great. If you're trying to fix some inflammation and some other issues like skins and so forth, I feel like keto or carnivore, no carbs is the way to go. Now, if you're trying to reverse something like an autoimmune disorder like Crohn's, as Evan has seen, the lion diet works really well. Can I say it as a doctor that this stuff really, really works? No, because I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you what I've seen with my own eyes for myself and my son. Okay. What is the best way to start the carnivore diet? I mean, honestly, just stop eating carbs. But if you can't do that, 1, Jack Spirko has a low carb journey playlist on YouTube. That's a good one. 2, track your food and see what the carbs are and avoid them. And then 3, hire somebody to help you. And that's where this whole carnivore challenge comes up. We want to help you get there. And sometimes you just need a guide, and sometimes you need people to go with you. Okay, so will I experience side effects like fatigue or cravings, and how do I manage them? So yes, you're learning to burn a different fuel. I still do CrossFit. It's been 6 months on the carnivore diet. it's not as bad, but when we start the workout, I'm like, a minute in, I'm like, dog, man, I feel weird because I'm burning fat, not carbs. I can still produce the same results. I just have to understand it feels different in my body. So yeah, that does feel weird. I'm not fatigued as in like in the day I want to go to sleep. It's just, for me, it's in the workout. Will you have cravings? The answer is yes, for sure. Depends on how addicted to sugar and bread you are. Not so much for me because I was already off of it for 15 years. But Evan struggled mightily, not just with that, but also a different texture in his mouth. So he wanted like pancakes. So he came up with an egg and cheese based pancake. And he's like, yeah, it satisfies that need of something different. He also wanted crunchy. So we ended up getting these carnivore, it's like beef jerky, but it was like super thin and like a cracker, but it's just meat that's dehydrated big time. And it got him that crunchy feel. So yes, you are going to experience that. The best way to handle that is to have somebody to ask, like me or this group, because going alone in that is really tough. Do I need to track my calories, my macros, and weigh my food? No, but if you don't actually know what a carb is, yes. So I would always recommend track your food for 2 weeks. You're going to find out the stupid stuff you eat and be able to eliminate it fast like that. So yes, do it, but not everybody will. In this challenge, if you sign up, they're going to ask you to do it. I would say do it because many of you don't understand what food is. And if you scan, like many of these apps, if you just take your phone and scan the back of the thing, there's usually a barcode or something on there. If you scan the barcode, it'll say, oh, you're eating whatever. And it has the profile built into it. So I would do it so you could see what's actually in your food. Realize though, a lot of the times those labels can be up to 20% off. So that kind of stinks that it may not be accurate all the time. But at least you'll have a better understanding. So I would do it, but you don't have to. Now, weighing and measuring, you can, some people would say you can eat as much as you want on the carnivore diet, you won't gain any weight. That's not true. I did. I gained weight. I dropped a lot of weight first, but I was eating 4,000 calories a day. So should you weigh your food? Yes, or just don't eat like I did, like a dumb idiot, and eat like as much as you freaking want. So you need to just be smart on that. At the beginning, you can eat whatever, it doesn't matter. But as your body starts to stabilize, it does totally matter. How much should I eat daily? And how do I know if it's too much or too little? Okay. In the carnivore diet, you basically eat until you're like, I'm done eating. And you'll know that. Like if you go to a Fogo de Chao or Brazilian steakhouse, you can only eat so much. And that's the point. You want to recognize that and maybe back it off a little bit. I was going too far into it. And like I said, I started gaining weight again. So typically you're going to, depending on your starting point, you're going to lose a pound every 2 days for the first month, maybe first 3 weeks. And then after that, it'll be a pound every 4 or 5 days. It just depends at your starting point. So I was 165 when I started this. I only went down to 155, and then I came back up to 160. If I had started at 300 pounds, yes, I think you get the picture right there. Can I exercise and maintain strength and endurance on carnivore? Yes. It is a myth. I can't work out if I don't have any carbs. That's a bunch of crap. I've been doing it for 6 months. I guess now we're starting on the 7th month, and I'm totally fine. It does feel a little bit weird. Yes, you can build muscle. As I was dropping in weight, I wear medium shirts, and those medium shirts got a little tighter, and it was because I was eating so much meat while working out doing CrossFit. I was putting on muscle. Do I legit want to do that? Not really, because I'm 51. I don't really want to be like, I don't want to carry that much weight around. So possibly some of the weight that I was putting on was muscle. Well, not possibly, it was. But I was also eating a lot, and you could see I was getting my stomach back. So be careful on that one. And yes, you can work out. So this is an interesting one. How does carnivore affect hormones and testosterone? A lot of people have said, again, not doctor advice, anecdotal, that I think it's due to getting all of the processed foods out, but it could just be the meat, that their hormone levels level out and they'll see an increase in testosterone. I think if you added creatine into this mixture, you would probably even see better results. All right, this is one that I struggled with in my own head. How do I get all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients I need without plants? Weirdly, it doesn't matter. There may be something I'm missing. I've done a bunch of tests. So far, the blood work and the doctors have said, you're fine. Everything's good. It is an interesting thing. Like they tell you, what is that thing? Your appendix and your gallbladder and your spleen. And they're like, we don't know exactly what all they do. Here's something that they do know now. When you turn into carnivore or meat only, your body starts to redo some processes that the food was putting or giving to you already. For example, you don't typically make that much vitamin D, you use the sun, whatever, right? If you take in meat, your body will synthesize it. Cholesterol. Usually they say, oh, that's so bad. Now they're starting to change their tone. Your body is going to create more cholesterol because it's cleaning out your cells and transporting fat to as your fuel source. Also, your brain is mostly cholesterol, so it's feeding your brain. You'll probably get smarter, right? Or at least get rid of some brain fog. So weirdly, at 6 months, I'm not missing anything. I don't take a vitamin. I don't take any pills at all. It frustrates my wife sometimes because she's like, hey, try this, do that. I do try her patches, so that she does the LifeWay patches, which is pretty neat. It is turning my hair from gray back to black. So I don't know exactly what the patches are doing, but it's interesting. Or maybe that's part of the carnivore as well. Although I was doing the patches first. All right, so the next one. Do I need to supplement on a carnivore diet? So I just told you that. I don't. You may want to. You should do blood work for sure and then have them tell you what you're deficient in. So some people will take some vitamins like D3, K2, or iodine. So far, I haven't done anything. I do have iodine pills, and I've researched that, and they're like, actually, weirdly, you don't need to, especially when you're eating enough meat, because meat has some in it, and you're going to get it that way. And when you're not processing other foods, you need less of it. That's the other weird thing. Like vitamin C. Many people have said, what about scurvy? Meat has some vitamin C in it, and when you're eating like this and not eating all the other stuff, your body requires less vitamin C because the things that transport it, maybe cholesterol, I don't know the answer to this one, it's not competing, so you need less vitamin C to do what it was supposed to do. And so far, I'm good. So the answer is no. What about organ meats? Are they necessary? No. Some people put them in there. If you go to Ancient Awakenings, which is right next to the gym, or you can look around and find it, a lot of people will do like ground beef with some organ meat in there, and that's good to do. Apparently, organ meat can be too intense, and if you eat just organ meat, you can get in trouble. So I don't know who would really do that because it tastes gross, but I put some organ meat into my meat just because why not? And usually that mixture is cheaper. So, for example, my wife got a quarter of a cow that somebody ordered the ground beef with the organ meat. But then they're like, I didn't say that. So then they're like, well, shoot, let's just get rid of it. So they sold it cheap and we bought it. And so yes, I eat that. Typically when I do my ground beef, I'll take something like at Publix, at least the one near us, they have White Oak Pastures, which is a southern Georgia guy who's down in, it's like White County or White Bluff or something like that, or Bluffton. And he does regenerative farming. So his cows are living the good life. And so the cows are out in the field, they move them, they bring in the goats, they move them, they bring in the chickens. And so they do the thing where it helps propel the land. It's actually looking good and I want to support that. So anyway, I buy his ground beef. I'll do his, some deer, and then something else somebody gave me. And I'll put those together so that it's a mixture of all of them. And then of course, when I eat it with eggs. Can my kids or family join me in this diet? The answer is yes. Evan is doing it now, and it has fixed his cured. I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I can say it from my own visual inspection. It cured his Crohn's. He's on the mend. We'll go back to the doctor eventually and have him check it out. But I don't like what the doctors said, which is, oh, you have Crohn's. Get used to it. You're going to deal with this the rest of your life. And then take this drug. It may or may not work. We may cut your colon out, and you may have a colostomy bag. That's just retarded. And he's like, Dad, no, I don't want to do that. So the diet and Josh Desch's group saved his life. And I believe in God and I believe in prayer, and that worked as well. I also believe in following methods. He sent you a boat, a helicopter, and a jet ski. Get off the roof during the flood. If you know that joke, you're with me. How do I handle social situations and eating out? Yeah, that's a bit tough. I typically pre-eat, so I don't have to really eat anything. And then I just tell people what I'm doing. It's a lot easier for me to say, I'm doing this for my son. And they're like, hey, great. It would be easier for my son to say it. Hey, I'm doing it because I have a thing, right? If you're just doing it for doing it and you're like, well, I'm just doing it to lose weight. I don't know. Maybe it sounds kind of weird, but I think that's a good thing too. You can tell them that. I typically, when I go out to eat, I will either look at the menu online or no. They usually have a hamburger. I can get a hamburger, just the patty, and then get some cheese on it, and I'm done. How do I make the diet interesting and avoid getting bored or burned out? So be like Evan and look up resources to find different things. Join a team where there's a mentor who will tell you all the great food options. Or if you're like me, I literally eat the same 2 meals every day. So the breakfast and dinner are the same, minus the cheese. And then lunch is a sirloin. And that's what I eat. I've been doing it for 6 or 7 months. And I'm totally fine with it. I am not bored with it yet. So that's just how I work. How do I know if the diet is working? Well, 1, you'd probably be losing weight. And 2, whatever the thing you're trying to fix, like if you have skin tags or splotchy marks or autoimmune, you'll start to see that clear up. But the big sign that you're in ketosis is you're dropping weight. Also, if you go to work out, it feels funny. But you can get blood work done and have them track things like your A1C or your fasting insulin and things like that. And they're going to tell you, hey, this is going on. And they'll know that. Me and you, without doing blood work, we just have to use, the evidence. Like, how do you know there's wind? I can't see the wind. I see the effects of the wind, right? How do I know if keto is working? I can't look inside of me, but I can see the effects of it. Can I stay on this diet forever or should I transition off? Man, that depends. I think I'm staying on it forever. Evan is transitioning off as fast as he can, as long as his body allows, because he just wants to eat normal, basically. Now, I don't think he will ever go back to, let's go to McDonald's. Not that we went to McDonald's, but he went to Cane's or Chick-fil-A. I don't think he'll ever go back to that. So he has realized that most of the thing we have out there that is called food is actually just entertainment. Nobody else in my family does this. One of my daughters is like, yeah, I might kind of try it. And so she's like off and on with it. The other 3 are like, no, you guys are idiots. And I think we're healthier for it. And I think they're less healthy for it. But sometimes it's really hard to get your family engaged, right? What is it they say? A prophet has no standing in his hometown or something like that. So not that I'm a prophet, but you know what I'm saying? It's hard to convince your own family. Does carnivore reduce inflammation? So for us, yes. And I think if you go and listen to anybody else, they're going to tell you yes. Meat naturally, this ruminant meat, red meat, is naturally anti-inflammatory for most people. So I think the answer is yes, that you'd see a reduction in your inflammatory markers. You may even be able to get off of medicines. Talk to your doctor about that. But you know your body, listen to it. Do I have to fast on the carnivore diet? No, I don't fast. I eat 3 meals a day. I know some people who go down to 2 meals and some people go down to 1 because they're just not that hungry. Totally fine if you can do that. I enjoy eating this food and I get hungry and I work out a lot. So you don't have to fast. Now, if you're fasting and working out, you do want to kind of eat near the working out because protein is good for your muscles. So make sure you give them protein. How do I handle cravings for sweets and carbs? Will they ever go away? Yes, I don't have cravings for sweets or carbs, but it's been 15 years. It takes a while, and the first bit is tough. Your body will crave it, and you have stuff in your body, candida. It's a fungus that wants sugar and carbs. And so it's going to make you feel bad until you get it. So you have something inside of you telling you to eat it, and you shouldn't. You should ignore that one. But that's candida. Look it up. I have a podcast on how to stop eating sugar. Go listen to that. It's, what is it called? I think it's called On How to Stop Consuming Sugar. And it'll walk you through what I did to get over that. What's the difference between dirty carnivore and clean carnivore? So there's 2 ways you could look at that. Usually they mean the quality of food. Like dirty would be, hey, I went to McDonald's, got 16 patties and ate those. So it's meat, but I don't know if it's the best meat. Another way that people say is like, maybe not dirty, but they'll say like carnivore light. So like, hey, I add in some things. And you're like, okay, it's not specifically carnivore, so you're off carnivore, but there's not a great way to explain it. So I tell people I eat Lion Diet light or carnivore strict. So take that for what you want it to mean, but it gives the people in the know, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, the ultimate takeaway. If you need to lose weight or you'd like to lose weight in a healthy way, sustainable way, this is a great way to go. If you've got some sort of skin issue or autoimmune issue, the Lion Diet, at least for Evan, seems to really work, and me. So take a peek at it. Last thoughts. I am the type of weirdo who can say, well, I'm just going to do a thing and I'll just do it. So I stopped eating sugar on a bet and then it didn't work. Then I stopped eating sugar because I wanted to, and it's lasted for 15 plus years. I think for everybody else that's not like that, join a group. So I'm able to work out every day. As a matter of fact, I need to leave in 5 minutes to go to the gym because I have a crew, because I have a group. So there are some things I'm good with turning off and on. There's other things I am not good with. And that's when hiring a mentor or being in a group definitely helps. So Smart and Simple Nutrition will help you walk through this. Just go to their page. I'll put it in the doodly-doo. Sign up. You're going to love it. Guys, this does work. if you follow it. If you're like, well, I eat like at midnight when nobody's looking, I go and just have a whole loaf of bread. Yeah, it's not going to work. You have to follow it. And these guys give you the guidelines to get it all done. All right. Hey, we're here for you in 2025. I've got a lot of interesting episodes planned, and I'm going to do more finances. I know it's food, fitness, and finance. Finance isn't hard. Just don't spend on stupid crap and save your money. And there's some other bits to it. But we're eating every day. And so food, right? And we should fitness every day. Well, I guess we should save our money every day, but you know what I mean. Those other two things get hit a lot harder. All right, guys, take care. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now, as well as in our 90s. So if you're in Woodstock, come join us at CrossFit Garage.